So when buying a camera lens from Canon, Sony, Sigma, are we paying for the name? Or are we paying for the sheer performance of the lens? I'm someone who thinks very technical. I'm very performance driven, if you will. Does a cheap or budget lens give creators the image quality that we desire? Or are we forced to spend the big bucks with the giants? That's what I want to find out today. The Neewer 25mm lens with a 1.8 aperture is a budget lens that could be found for about $55 over Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale weekend. It can also be found in the description of the video for about 70 bucks now. And this lens has a mount that should fit the EOS M branded cameras, the M50, the M200. Now, typically the downside of these budget lenses, it's right here, is that 99% of the time, they don't have any autofocus. That's a bummer. But there are two things that I'm looking for when I'm looking for a manual lens. Number one, I don't want to have to manually focus the lens every single time. That was a big problem with the M50, was when I was shooting in manual mode on a lens like this, because the M50 didn't have clean HDMI out with autofocus. Every single time the camera turned on, I'd have to turn the focus ring and try to find that sweet spot. So that's the first thing I'm looking for. I don't want to have to manually adjust it every single time the camera turns on and off and on and off. The second thing that I'm looking for is image quality. I want that nice, creamy bokeh in the background, the little blur, that's what you're seeing. And that with that 1.8 aperture, that's what we're looking to achieve today with this guy, the Neewer 25mm 1.8 aperture budget lens. Now that 1.8 f-stop should give us that nice, creamy background that we're looking for, while keeping the focus on me and keeping me sharp. Another thing to keep in mind is low f-stops is generally better with low light. Basically, the lower the aperture, the bigger the iris on the lens opens up and can let in more light. Now with these low f-stops, we should be decent in low light. The one thing that you want to worry about with low light, and why you might be interested in a lens that has a lower aperture, is because typically in dark areas, and I don't know if it'll show it in this video, but like on this chair or down by the lights in dark areas of the video, you might see movement, like a million ants running around back there. This is called video noise, and we don't like that. We don't want that around here. So ideally, the blurriness from a 1.8 aperture in the background should hide any sneaky little critters trying to run around in the dark shadows of the room. I should start a horror podcast. But enough talking about it. Can we use it? Is it good? That's what I want to know. Can we make our image go from this to this? Now, obviously, you're going to have to mess with getting it focused, right? The good thing about this one is that it's all done manually, and it doesn't have the pins on the inside of it. It does have pins, but none of them control the focus. So what that means is that when I turn the camera off, it doesn't go back to a default state, and then I have to readjust and do everything again afterwards. So as you can see in the background right here, it is blurry. Is it blurrier than the other one? I don't know. I'd have to do a side-by-side. However, the joy of it comes when you get a little closer. So if I get a little bit closer here and we try to bring me into focus now, look how blurry the background is. Neewer! Hello? This isn't going to be the actual total setup of it, right? I mean, I'm not going to be hunched over and close to the camera all the time. I just wanted to show that, look at the blurriness in the background now. And I'm going to have to go through and set that up a little more later to make it perfect. So basically, this is where I'm staying right now. So I'm going to stay here for the remainder of the video. Now, what shows up when you buy this on Amazon, again, $70, got it for $55 or $50 over Black Friday. You get your box, okay, just a cardboard box, but it does have branding and images on it. So that's, you know, one step further than a lot of people. Thumbnail. Now inside this box houses the lens that you are in right now. You're inside of it, by the way. And then it also came with this this little pleather travel bag. It's a nice little touch, I suppose. Pretty cool that they included it. However, I have a camera bag that holds all my lenses, so I have no use for that. But anybody else who maybe doesn't, maybe you're just getting into cameras, maybe you're just getting into content creation, you're looking for a lens that does decent in low light, I mean, look at it. And I think actually it's more in focus right here. So $70. I'm gonna move back. $70 compared to like $250 for this Canon 22mm lens. Now it has autofocus. Not exactly sure on the aperture of this thing. If you can handle a manual lens, what's the difference in this quality? $70. And it actually looks like right now, this Canon 22mm lens was $250 when I bought it. Of course, it's now down to $180 at Amazon, Best Buy, BH Photo, Canon. It's $180 everywhere. So you're still saving $110 by using the Neewer. Neewer? And this might be out of focus a little bit. I might have to goof with it a little bit. But comparatively, in terms of price, what are you getting for that extra $110? Autofocus? Look, if I'm gaming and I'm streaming like this, how often am I gonna be back there? How often am I gonna be getting closer to the camera? I think this lens works perfect if you're just trying to find a place that you need a steady shot. You can sit down and you can do your streams, or you can do your recordings, or anything else. $70. This lens is linked down in the description down below. If you decide that you want to pick one up, it gives the channel a little kickback. Not saying that you have to do it. You're always welcome to. So, are budget lenses something that we need to take seriously? I think so. Why would I want to buy this for $180 when I'm getting the same or better picture? And the closer that I get to that lens, the blurrier the background is. It just doesn't make much sense to me to not pick one up, I guess. At the very least, you could just use it for video. Grab this for photo or something else. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's just working as intended, I guess. Oh, and that's at 300 ISO. Let me change something real quick. It might be a little too dark, or it might be perfect. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Maybe I like 200. This is 200 ISO. We'll keep this. Guys, that's the video. If you liked it, like it, subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.